Selamat pagi, selamat siang, selamat sore, dan selamat malam wherever you are in the world. Nama saya Eleni Rosi, saya dari MDF Asia dan Indonesia Nederland Youth Society. Dan hari ini saya sangat antusias karena kita semua berkumpul lagi di CID ke-6. Dan hari ini saya boleh host Open Forum pertama dengan salah satu atlet yang luar biasa bernama Luis Leeds yang ingin menjadi juara di Formula One atas nama Indonesia. So for the next 30 minutes during this open forum, itu memang kita bersama semua because we want to make this a interactive session. Because if you've been to any of the previous CIDs, you know that there is always room to sit down, have a cup of coffee, and chill with one of the speakers or with the audience. So that's exactly what we hope to do today as well. So if you're either watching on YouTube, on Facebook, or in this Zoom chat, just relax, grab a cup of coffee, and join this conversation. Because if you have any questions, if you have any comments, use the comment section or the Q&A session, and we will try to make sure that we can answer as many questions as possible. Dan juga untuk teman-teman Indonesia yang belum fasih dalam bahasa Inggris, itu tidak apa-apa, saya juga belum fasih dalam bahasa Indonesia, tapi sesinya ini akan dalam bahasa Inggris. Dan untuk mahasiswa yang hadir juga, kalau ada pertanyaan, silakan bertanya dalam bahasa Indonesia aja, dan tim kami akan coba untuk menerjemah semua untuk sesi ini. So without further ado, let's get the star of the day in this session. Let's talk with Luis Leeds. Where is he? Is he somewhere in this room? Yes.
Hey everyone. Hi Rennie.
There he
How
is.
are you?
How's it going, man? Where are you? Is it morning? Is it pagi, siang, sore, or malam, wherever you are?
Yeah, early afternoon here in Melbourne. We're in the middle of a lockdown, so it's been a tough few weeks here, but I've stayed steady training. As a few people may know, I'm a young diaspora Indonesian and Australian from Melbourne. It's my goal to be a Formula One world champion, and working with many different people to try and make a dream possible.
It's nice. So how are you coping with COVID now? So you're saying you're still training. Doesn't mean that now that you're at home, you're sitting on your couch watching Netflix every day?
Yeah, no Netflix for me, but just trying to do the right thing for the community. Wear a mask, check in where there's QR codes available. And otherwise, there really isn't much to do for someone like myself other than try stay fit and try stay mentally sharp for the upcoming race season.
All right. So for the people that don't know you yet, you're already quite famous. Even though you're 21 years old, the news around you is really growing and growing. But for the people that have not fully seen any of your races yet, could you share a little bit about your background? Who are you as a person, and what is your connection with Indonesia?
All right, so yeah, I'm 21. I was born 2000. I'm born in a small suburb of Carlton here in Victoria. My mother is from Kalman Village. So I've got Indonesian heritage in my family, and it's something that I hold very close to me when I try to compete. I'm, like I said, a motorsport athlete. I've won 24 races. I've also won at the Australian Grand Prix and in Mexico in Formula 4. So my career is on the pathway up to Formula 3 and Formula 2, and I hope one day into Formula 1. At the moment, with the COVID situation, there has been a big setback in motorsport, particularly in Australia. It's a very expensive sport, so I work with a lot of sponsors and a lot of different businesses to try and overcome that hurdle and move forward into what is hopefully Formula One day.
Okay. Well, to be honest, related to that, so once we announced that you were one of the speakers, we automatically started receiving many videos from students that wanted to ask you a question. And one of the students, her name is Aulia, and I think she has a question related to that. So maybe the team in the background can show the video from Aulia, who has a very nice question related to this. So if that's possible, let's see if our team on the background can help. There we go.
My name is Asia. I'm from Indonesia. I study in University of Jakarta. I want to ask you about what is your first step or what do you do to prepare to ask sponsor for your Formula tournament? Maybe for Indonesia government. That's my question. Thank you.
Okay,
How do you get sponsors?
unfortunately, I didn't hear much of that question. So
Let me repeat it for you. So basically, the
me-
question was, if what are you doing to get sponsors? Because in the racing world, you always need to get sponsors, like you mentioned before. And the question from Aulia was, how do you do that?
okay, it's a very long and complicated process that we have to identify certain businesses that I can work with, businesses that fit the type of image that we portray as racing car drivers. So businesses that have a connection to the automotive industry, even we use aerodynamics a lot in motorsport, and we also, things like tires, brakes, drive shafts, different components of cars. So particularly those types of businesses are the ones that we get involved with. COVID getting, it has definitely thrown a big hurdle towards raising sponsorship, just because of the financial situation that it has left businesses in. Typically local support is what has been pushing me forward and has kept me active in motorsport. There are very large costs to compete in the millions, specifically in Formula 3 and Formula 2. So I'm very lucky to have a great support team with me that can push me in the right direction to work with the right businesses who are interested in motorsport, because it is a fun industry to get involved in. And it is a very rewarding industry to be involved in also.
Okay, well, and when you're talking about millions, I'm presuming you're not meaning Indonesian rupiah, right? Because otherwise, I'm pretty sure that we can arrange your future here tonight.
I know, I wish. We're definitely talking US millions. So,
Right.
yeah, I'm not sure how much cash you got in your back pocket.
Well, not enough at the moment, but maybe I can borrow some from the other panel members. But related to that, I'm really surprised that you need to do that as well, because you're only 21 years old, and basically you need to find sponsors yourself, or do you get help for that? And surprisingly, because you're 21-year-old, you have been racing almost, I think, more than 10 years already. During that process, basically, you're also running your own business then on promoting yourself, attracting sponsors, attracting partners. How are you dealing with that? Because if you start that young, you must go to school as well. And where do you get the information?
Yeah,
To do these things?
I've been balancing my racing career since I was 14. So I went to school and competed and actively sourced sponsorship to continue my racing career. I have, of course, had help from people like my family to keep me focused on the path, because it was a very challenging time. It was a very big obstacle to try compete internationally, finish my schooling, which was very important to me, and also raise the funds. So it's just the way of motorsport. Motorsport is unique like that, and I think that if I want to be one of the best drivers out there, that I have to be good at every area that I'm involved in. And from a very young age, I had to accept that identifying and acquiring sponsorship is such a big part of motorsport. If you were to play soccer, you could work out in the gym and play soccer with your teammates. But for me, I had to train more than just 3 hours a day on the simulator and out in the gym. I have to spend 3 hours a day working with different businesses. So I think for all the younger people who compete in motorsport, you have to be active in finding sponsorship like that. It's part of the business and the sport, and there's no way around it.
Well, since this is an open forum, let's see if we can get some participants involved as well. I see that Monica is here as well, and if she would like to ask you a question. Let's see if the moderators can include Monica to ask you a question.
Hello.
Hi, Monica. How you doing?
Yeah, hi, Luis. Hi, Rani. Wow, so amazing, yeah. Okay, I will ask for Luis. As a racer, of course, you have to intensely train. Have you ever felt bored or demotivated? So what you do if you are bored with your routine? Yeah, I think that's enough. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Monica. Did you get the question, Luis?
It cut out again, so you're gonna have to keep repeating. Sorry.
Well, as a racer, you like you previously mentioned, you have to train intensively. You have to train a lot. Aren't you ever bored of it? And what do you do when you're not really motivated? How do you deal with those things?
Yeah, I have the drive to be a Formula One world champion, so it's very unlikely that I feel demotivated like that, but I do understand that there are days that are so many obstacles thrown at you that you feel put under, and you have to find the strength from inside to actually rise above whatever challenge is going on that day or in your life, and have to find the courage from inside to keep aspiring to be the best version of yourself. That's what I believe. It's been a mindset that has helped me continue to have a racing career for the past 8 seasons, and to put me in a good place to enter the Formula One industry, hopefully in the upcoming years. So, of course, there are other things that I do, like listen to good music, hang out with my family, my friends. My lifestyle is very important to have a routine and to eat the right foods to stay sharp. You know, in motorsport, we're looking for the smallest of margins to beat other competitors. We're looking for hundredths of a second, even thousands sometimes, and we race at some of the best tracks. My next race is at Bathurst, and it's one of those places that you can't go to if you're feeling demotivated. So it's something that, as an athlete, I guess that I had to adapt a competitive mindset, because you know, there are other people who are going to be trying to beat me every single week, and if I don't stay sharp, they're going to beat me, which I don't want.
I can understand that, and I'm pretty sure that your competitors are watching now as well to learn from you, and maybe steal a few tricks. But related to that, in dealing with all these difficult things, you already mentioned your family. To what extent does your family roots, half of it in Indonesia and half of it in Australia, play a role in your career now? And are there certain cultural aspects that are helping you, for example, in being that champion?
Absolutely. Particularly my grandparents on both sides of my family. In Australia, my grandparents are very hardworking. They didn't come from much to begin with. So work ethic was, you know, shared between my grandpa to my dad to myself, and of course my other family members. But in Indonesia, it's one of those situations that I haven't been able to see my grandparents in a very long time, and I wish that I could travel over there. When I was younger, you know, I didn't have the money to move myself, and now that I'm older, the COVID situation has impacted travel. So I have a connection that's almost invisible, you know, not to the naked eye. It's something that my family, they pray for me. And they, especially my grandparents in Indonesia, you know, it inspires me to be successful so that one day I will be able to go home and see them again. You know, they also inspire other things like the clothes I wear, I like to wear a batik sometimes around the paddock, and you know, a lot of people are foreign to what that actually is. So I hope that through my career, you know, I can adapt different elements of the Indonesian culture and display it through my racing. I've always been very proactive in trying to represent the Indonesian flag on my race car and my racing equipment, because, like I said, my family back home, I want them to know that I'm doing this not only for myself, but for them.
That's very nice. So by the time that you're reaching Formula One, we can expect a full outfit in batik and a Formula One car fully in batik. I can't wait to see that. I'm pretty sure a lot of people would love that. So let's make it happen together. Let's
Yeah,
open the floor again.
actually, just on that, sorry to
Oh, you done
interrupt
that?
Rennie, but I'm trying to start a race team in Australia, and at the moment we're in the process of designing the race car. That could be a good idea. I might have to look into that.
Honestly, I envy you there. I would love to come and see you race in a batik race car. I can't wait to see that, and I'm pretty sure that everybody who's watching now would love to see that. So make it happen and make sure that everything is broadcasted in Indonesia as well, so that things are becoming more and more alive here as well. Especially amongst one of the people that is also in this session as well. Let's try to open the floor for Shabita. Is Shabita here? And for the other people in this session, maybe you can turn off your mic because I'm hearing background noise as well.
Okay, Shabita.
Hi.
I'm hearing different types of microphones now. Of course, that happens when you're in a conference online. Even if it's offline, you always hear people in the audience talking amongst each other. So let's see if we can only focus on Shabita now.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes,
Hi,
perfect.
Kat.
Welcome.
Hi, my name is Dita, and I'm from Indonesia. I have a question for you that, how do you think your competitiveness is built? You know, thank you very much.
I heard that one, Rennie. So,
Okay.
my competitiveness through my inspirations. We all have our own heroes that we look up to. I'm a huge NBA fan, so people like LeBron James, James Harden, Kobe Bryant, you know, those are the people that I look at to take parts of their work ethic from. I touched on it earlier that in motorsport, we're all trying to beat each other, even our teammates. So if I don't rise to the occasion, I will definitely get beat. Sometimes we have 35 people out there on the racetrack at the same time. And of course, only one of us can win. So you have to be, you know, you have to get the spirit from somewhere. And I think naturally it's born in me with my Indonesian culture to have that strong fighting spirit. That and, you know, following the inspiration of my heroes is where I get my competitiveness from.
So those are the role models that you have from basically your outer circles, the really big stars in this world. Do you have really closer role models as well within your friends and your family? You already mentioned your grandparents, but are there perhaps other people as well within your family that you really look up to and that you learn a lot from?
Yeah, my siblings are my biggest inspiration. I have a younger brother, Jonathan, and a younger sister, Amelia. When I raced for the Red Bull F1 team, I moved to the UK when I was 15 years old, and I had to leave behind, you know, all my school friends, all my family, and in those really challenging moments, I found that it was always my siblings that were there for me no matter what. And they're a lot younger than me. At the moment, my brother is 13 and my sister is 19. But they're still, you know, we've gone through so much together that whenever I face an obstacle, they know exactly what to say to me and how to motivate me to become a better person, you know, just to stay stay happy and confident in my driving ability. As I said, we go to some very, very challenging places. We're going 300 kilometers between walls that are 6 meters apart. So it's very easy to lose belief in yourself, or even to lose that hunger. So they're one of the closer people that, you know, if I have a bad race and I need to be inspired, I'll watch, you know, a documentary of Kobe Bryant or something. But if that's not enough, my family is always one phone call away for me.
Very nice, very inspiring, and I think we can learn a lot from you there. The importance of family is very inspiring and can give everybody a lot of energy. When talking about families, I see a question here from Indra, and he is mentioning that he has 2 children. He's Indonesian diaspora, and one of his children is born in the US and one in Canada. And they're getting at an age where they need to choose their nationality, and they're kind of struggling with that. Do you have any advice from your experience for him and his kids?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm actually in the exact same position, so I can't give him the best advice, because I still need advice myself on what to do. At the moment, you know, we have to choose between the 2 passports. I'm 21 at the moment, so this is the year that I have to decide. I would say to listen to your children's opinions, maybe find out, you know, where their heart is, perhaps where they'll spend their future, of course, because where we work is such a big factor in our lives. So someone like myself, I will be traveling, and I will always have implications when I travel with visas and things like this. So I think maybe that question could, if someone has an answer or got advice about that, then I'd love to hear that too. You know, I'm still a young individual. I don't know everything. I still take a lot of guidance from the elders in my community. So yeah.
Right. Well, let's hope that the other speakers of the other sessions later on today are watching this, and hopefully they can come up with an answer. Because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people here within the Diaspora Network that are aiming for dual citizenship, that are struggling with this. So hopefully during this conference, they can discuss this as well. I see that previously there was also a video sent in by Dinda, another student from Indonesia. So maybe the moderators can share that with us. There we go. This is very difficult to hear.
Okay, I thought that was just me.
Yeah. Can you play it one more time?
Hai Luis, perkenalkan, aku Dinda dari Indonesia Open University. Aku mau bertanya, kalau ternyata in the future kamu nggak jadi pembalap, kamu mau jadi apa? Atau pekerjaan apa yang akan kamu pilih? Semoga kamu mau menjawab ya. Terima kasih.
All right. Let's hope everybody is still here. So that was Dinda from the Open University in Indonesia. And she basically asked you already about the next steps after you have become perhaps the #1 in Formula One. What are you going to do after that? If you're not a racer, what ambitions do you have? Are you going to become an NBA player, or what are you aiming for next?
At the moment, you know, I'm so focused on building motivation and inspiration within the community. So I've been very fortunate through my career that I've had the opportunities to compete in motorsport. And I know that many children, especially from the village that my mum is from, wouldn't have the same opportunities. So it's a big goal of mine to one day, when I'm in that position financially, to support other people to chase their dreams. That's exactly what I'm going to do, because I've seen and witnessed firsthand how much sport can positively impact a community and how much it can change people's lives, specifically kids, for the better. So as soon as I get to the top, that is the very first thing that I'm doing. I've always been very vocal about being proactive in the community, giving other athletes and kids a chance to compete and have fun in sports, because that's what it's all about. It's all about having fun, and maybe focus on other things. Personally, in high school, my favorite subject is geography. So I've had a look into climate change and things like that that have been impacting the communities. So we'll have to wait and see where my future takes me. But for sure, helping the environment and helping communities around me, that's my priority.
That's good. I don't know if you watched the previous session, but that was also about the SDGs. And of course, we are the generation that needs to build on what our predecessors have done. So hopefully we can work together on the environment as well. And perhaps on your batik car, we can also include environmental SDG goals to thrive for that. Since we're almost out of time, like 30 minutes, they go so fast, perhaps even faster than your race car. Is there anything else you would like to say to basically the millennials or the other diaspora that are watching? Perhaps some closing remarks that we can really, I don't know, encourage people that are watching to make the best out of themselves, even in these times of COVID, where a lot of people are struggling, where a lot of people need to stay at home. Any words of wisdom from you as a race champion?
Absolutely. I think that the most important thing that I would say to any of the young millennials watching is to have a very strong belief in yourself, and that if you have a vision, to not be afraid to follow in your own dreams and create your own path forward. So whether that be singing, dancing, racing cars, playing badminton, any type of sport, you're always bound to have an obstacle in your way that you're going to have to overcome. And the confidence and belief in yourself is what will take you further than anything else around you. So please make sure that if you're a young athlete specifically, that you work hard, that you create a group of people around you that can support you and allow you to feel comfortable about chasing your own dreams. And then it's up to you to put in the hard work and go and chase your goals.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's a wonderful message, I think, to close this session. To everybody who's watching, I hope you very much enjoyed this. I for certainly did. Perhaps one final question to Luis. If people want to track you after this, how do people stay in touch with you? How can they follow you and your activities?
I use social media. So Instagram is my main and only source to share what I do during the day. Please, if you do, want to follow my career or stay up to date, search for Luis Leeds on Instagram. That's where I post most things. And I think the best would be if you went to the racetrack and watched that. That would for sure be the best.
All right, everybody, you've heard it. Find Luis on Instagram and then go to the racetrack to find out where that batik race car is going to go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you everybody so much for watching. I wish everybody a pleasant day. Enjoy CID-6. Luis, once again, terima kasih. And see everybody later. Take care, stay safe, stay healthy, and enjoy CID-6. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. See you later.